We'll go for it.
All right, then. So it's welcome to Friday night number 2.
2.0.
Tonight we obviously have I feel like we've got a whole lot more love in the room.
I feel there's a lot more ginger in the room because I'm not going to lie, we are dominating this room at the moment. Me and Mickey, the future's bright, the future's orange. We are bringing
strawberry blonde.
Strawberry blonde. Yeah.
I'd say you're both
ginger,
strawberry blonde.
Being
honest.
I think you both are pretty racist, to be fair. Me and Mick are ginge, right? And we accept it. We're like Prince Harry's double. Right? If Meghan Markle was here now, she wouldn't know which one to choose from, honestly.
She would.
Really?
Rideout shuffle.
Oh,
His reputation,
yeah.
mate, he's legend.
True.
He puts into the legend category.
If
If she wants a baby, she would come with
Well, if there's any women
you'll produce a
watching, Mickey can produce a boy, hands down. How many boys you got, Mick?
5.
5
From
boys.
his knowledge.
Honestly. But you wish you
He's
had a
aware
Kept
TV.
trying for the girl. Didn't happen.
And if you need a girl, pop and see me. At the moment, I'm 1 for 1. So I've just got, the one girl. So, this is all good, everyone. So, Brad, what are you thinking tonight?
What, my first topic?
Yeah, why not?
All right, I think first topic today is for really Mickey to introduce himself, being the new guest. So go on, mate.
Ladies and gentlemen.
My name's Micky Rideout. Good-looking lad. Strawberry blonde.
Apparently. According to Jay,
Got
he's
5
just trying
boys.
to level him out.
And
How long you known Steve for?
Jesus, since I was 16. Now I'm, I'm 40, 41.
So
a
you've
long
been
time.
with him since
Since I was an
How did you
apprentice.
put up with him?
Good question. I'm just laid back, I think. So
Yeah.
High pain threshold.
By the sounds of it, he's laid back at work and then he does the laying back. He does the laying back at home.
Yeah, after
Shout out,
26 years,
Gems.
I've had enough of myself. I walk out and leave myself in here. Oh, fucking hell. I don't know how you put up with me for 26 years, but it is. It's amazing. Yeah. It's like what me and Mickey have experienced together, working together, growing up together. We've done everything together. It's like, it's always at my back, always. It's
Nice.
It's kind of weird.
So what's actually like, what made you wanting to get into the construction industry, Mick?
I've always just been good. My granddad probably used to go work for him when I was 9 years old, doing brickwork. I was there pointing in on the scaffolding and all that.
Nice.
And I've just always been good with my hands, really. And then when I left school, my dad got me a job with a construction company.
Mm-hmm.
And just started working for them. And then I was going to go to college. I actually went to college for 4 days and jacked it in, doing a public service course.
Public service?
Yeah, I wanted to be. Well, no, it's like public services is like fireman.
Bin man.
I want to be a fireman.
Oh, sorry, not
That's
like a
what I
bin
wanted
man
to
or
be.
something like that.
And I was like that. It's like going to
that.
college was like going back to school, and I was like that. I hated school. What am I doing here? I've had a little taste of being on the building site.
Nice.
With all the lads having a bit of banter, having a laugh. And I thought, yeah, that's a bit of me. So. But my mum wasn't too happy. I literally did Monday to
4
Thursday
days.
at college. I said, I ain't going back now. I'm going. And I literally rocked back up on the site on the next Monday, and the boys were like, what are you doing back? I was like, well, jacked it in. I'm coming back to work with you boys.
Cashed out.
Yeah.
I'm cashed out. I'm
And
not
I had a
about
taste of
that
the
life.
money as well, I think.
Yeah.
Earning a bit of dough. So,
And that's, so how did you meet Steve then? Was he advertising for a job?
so then
role?
he was working for the same company in the end.
Got ya.
Yeah. And
Yeah, I managed to get him working with me. I had no idea. So I had no idea. I didn't know who Mickey was. And I just said, look, we're doing this job. I can't remember exactly. I think it was like we were building over in Westport. I can't remember, right? We went for Barrett's.
yeah.
And I think it was like, it was kind of like I needed someone to help me out. They sent me Mickey because we were working for the same company.
Yeah.
And I was running the job. So they sent Mickey over and it was like he started working with me. And it was just like, it was a bit like, it sounds stupid, but it's a bit like when I met Gail. We just clicked. It
Love
was
at
just
first sight.
yeah, it was kind of like,
sight.
no, I think from a point of working
Yeah,
together.
yeah.
It
So
was
like Lady
just
in the
so
Tramp,
simple.
when the
I
Miss
was,
Pasta got
I
between
was
the
getting
pair.
pulled pillar to the post. I was like working
In the
with
end, I
one guy
wouldn't
one
let
way, and I
him
was working with
I
everyone
turned
wanted-
around, I fucking refused to let him go in the end. They would go, oh, we need Mickey. I go, no, you can't have him.
No, it's
And
mine.
Mickey then in the end, I think we both agreed on it, didn't we? We was like, well, no, I don't want to go because he said I want to just keep learning this because we're doing roofing and, we're doing all that stuff. So it's kind of cool work. And they wanted to get Mickey to go, like, I'll hump 200 sheets of plasterboard in up fucking 4 stories into a block of flats or something like that. And I go, Mickey's going, I don't want to do that. I go, I'll tell him you're not fucking doing it. So I found out, I go, I need him. I said, no, I need him here. I said, I'm going to have to keep him here. I said, and then it sort of kind of just carried
Hold him
on.
hostage.
And, yeah, it's sort of like, it just sort of kind of worked. It just kind of worked. And
So at this point in time, was Brad around, or was this pre-Brad?
Pre-Brad.
Yeah, I
This
was still
pre-Brad.
in his ball sack at this
You were
point.
still
we're
learning,
not-
learning the craft.
Yeah, up until now, we haven't had the DNA test to just check because he is that fucking good. He could be his.
Could be the Rideout.
And he's left-footed. I'm left-footed.
Yeah, we're both
Wow.
Yeah.
Gail's been busy.
Yeah, well, he's got the pizza delivery guy to sort it out, Casey, and now
we're learning so much, Brad.
Yeah, I know. So,
this is what comes out though. It's a Friday night club. This is what happens, isn't it? On a Friday night. So.
Literally all happens.
Yeah, but it's
Bit of
kind of
random
weird. As I say, I
conversations.
feel like you look here, sitting here now. Mickey and me, we worked together 26 years. Never a row, never argument, nothing. It was just kind of just, I don't know how we fucking done it, to be fair, but we have. And then you got you in here, you know, my friend. You got Brad in here, Billy. It feels like
How
there's
long
a
have
little
you
bit
known
of love
Brad
in this
for?
room. Feel like there's a little bit of love in the room tonight.
How long have you known Brad for?
6 months. Brad's not quite sure. He always gets confused when he gets asked this question.
Yeah.
How long have you known
Who
that?
am I? Wait, who
I
am
think
I?
actually I've known him all my life. I'm not quite
Yeah,
sure.
who is that guy over there? I'm meant to be his son.
So how do you think the introduction's gone then so far? Like with Mickey introduced himself.
Yeah, that's good.
Have you enjoyed working with him?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Out of all the people here, I'd say Mickey's my favourite to work with. I'll be
What,
honest.
better than working with your dad?
Yeah, definitely.
yeah,
100%. I want to kill him half the time.
I would want to work with me. But I would want to work with that's always what I wanted is like for Brad to work with Mickey is like when Mickey was working with me, it just
Passing
seems
it
like
down.
the natural
progression.
natural progression. And I honestly hope in the future that one of Mickey's boys wants to come and work here or wants to learn this stuff. And I know George is interested in stuff, which would be even better because he's my godson anyway, so that would make sense.
Yeah.
And to work with Brad. And then to
imagine
pass
that.
that gene, keep passing the gene down. It's like a Rideout Bonner gene. It just kind of works.
Yeah.
And it just works together. We work well as a team. It's fucking weird. Can't explain it. Love it. You know, I wouldn't change it for the world. But this is what it's all about. It's you know, sometimes if you get the chance, it's like if you meet your missus and you love her, right? You stay with her. That's that. And it's kind of like that. We're like brothers.
Yeah.
Happy to stay away from each other. Mick does his own thing. I do my own thing. We don't socialise loads together, but fucking work together.
It's just loyalty as well. Isn't it?
Yeah. That's nice. That's nice.
Yeah, I have a massive amount of respect for Mickey. He knows that. I've never abused that. I've always respected him from the day he started for me. When he was, it wasn't never Mickey. I never measured Mickey by his age. I always measured him by his ability. So, like, at the age of 17, 18, I was going, Mickey, you're that fucking good. I've got to pay you the money because otherwise I feel like bad.
When did you realise that he stood out from the crowd?
Probably about 3, 4 weeks after working with him. Probably, if I can remember that far back. But it was pretty much straight away. Because it was like, he just knew just knew it. It was fucking weird.
I think it is a God's gift. It is passed down to you.
I think it is. I think it's also that. Mind you saying that. Do you remember the times we used to do the banning units with the worktops?
They used to have, Barrett houses have different type of houses, but had different sinks for the vanities.
Right.
And I used to get confused what sinks were for each house.
Right. So you had the wrong sink
so
in the
not
wrong
cut the wrong
house.
sinks out of the
Cut the wrong sinks in the worktops, right? So when the plumber goes, fit the goes with the wrong cutout, so it's all wrong.
I
And
see,
then
I
couldn't have a go at Mickey because he'd go, I'm
Why
only
don't you
16.
just put the other
What
sink
did
in
you
instead?
expect?
Yeah.
put the other sinks in.
why
and
can't you
fit-
just switch the
I
sinks?
never
the sinks.
understood it. Yeah, I never understood
What's the
that.
point? Just switch the sinks, isn't it?
Yeah.
But I could never have a go at him because Mickey was 16.
Yeah,
at
he
the time when
used to
was
go.
doing
You cut the wrong sinks out again. I said, what do you expect? I'm 16.
this. What can I say? Just don't get a 16-year-old to do it then. I was like, fair enough. I can't argue with that.
I was
And
fixing
every
the
time I used to just stand there going like, yeah, fair enough. But Mickey only ever did, then that happened probably fucking hell 2 or 3 times. And that was it, was done. He never made a mistake after that ever again.
No.
So we can count on one hand the amount of mistakes Mickey's made.
Yeah, pretty
I
much.
think we can, yeah.
Yeah.
I actually remember Mickey making a mistake.
I do as well.
I was there.
Yeah.
I was
Dish
there.
the dirt.
Yeah.
This doesn't happen very often.
It was the
Aquapaneling.
cutting of the. It's the cutting of the.
Same paneling on the ceiling here.
We were there. I was there for that.
You were there for that as well.
I was there for that. I got to witness.
You just walked in, didn't you?
I walked in
Yeah.
by the hand of God. He made a mistake, and I was there to
I'll be
witness
honest with
it.
you, mate. I never saw it.
No,
I'll fucking stick up for him.
He was having a cup of tea and a fag up the road. I was there, and I think we were all like narrowing away, and then Mick's like, "Jay boy, I've made a mistake. I cut
at
the
least I
wrong."
was honest. I could have blagged it.
Yeah, you could have done. You could have done. So
I
yeah.
would have.
Yeah.
I would have.
Fair play.
Got to hold your hands up sometimes. But we used
Yeah.
the piece anyway on another bit, so
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, still reused it. didn't we?
rectified it.
Yeah, so technically, it's actually not a fuck up then, is it?
No,
Not-
no, it's just the bit that
It's
fell on the
just an
floor
attempt.
was.
That's what we call
An
it.
attempt.
An
That's it,
attempt.
I just
Yeah.
I'm human after all.
Yeah.
Well,
We found
don't know
out.
about that.
Yeah,
I
no.
mean, some of the stuff you've built is pretty unhuman, isn't it? Look at the basement. The basement, like
Yeah,
that
it's
was
unreal.
and the staircases.
Probably one of the biggest challenges, I think, that basement. Probably
Yeah.
out of all the things we built,
Oh, yeah, on that job. Yeah.
the scariest, that's for fucking
Yeah.
sure.
To give you a bit
I've
of
never been so
context,
scared in all my life.
we built a curved basement out of and did like a timber
No,
shuttering,
I think
didn't
let's
we?
get it right. Let's get it right, to be fair. So we built a fucking
bunker.
we built a 10,000 square foot house and then decided after we built it, we're going to build a fucking basement.
Yeah, add a
I
basement
mean,
to it.
you know, it's just nuts, really. But it's just the way the land works out and the way we can do it. It was good. But fucking singly, the most scariest thing I have ever done, asked people to do or be involved in. It was scary as fuck. I remember we built it. You know, there's no rule on how you build a shutter to suit this type of shape. It was just, I went to the engineers and they're like, oh, not 100% sure how you, because there's no square corners, it's just a pure curve.
How thick are we talking here, by the way?
200 mil.
Yeah, 200 mil.
Yeah.
200 mil. So
200 mil is about that thick.
Reinforced.
But
as well.
on the back wall, we've got a pillar up the house to hold
Right.
up the house while we build the basement. So we had to build like piles in there, which are probably 3 foot thick, and probably 4 or 5 meters high. You know, so these piles that hold up the house, and then built the curve on the front. And like we started building it, poured the concrete, and it just pissed out everywhere.
It blew. It
It
blew.
was like-
It bulked up.
We-
Yeah, the weight was too much.
We had no concept how much weight was going to go into this. So
Doubled up everything, didn't we? And
are you? So you're there as well.
Yeah, I was there for the entire
You're
time.
there.
I spent a whole day, right, and it was quite a funny day. When we were cutting all like the curves and timber shuttering, spent a whole day on the chop saw just cutting studs. Spent a whole day just getting out in the thing. I was just on a chop saw
It was
all
a
day,
bar.
just going.
it was
cut,
singly one of the best
cut,
things
and
that
making
we
something they're
built,
all right as
but
well.
Scary as fuck. I
Yeah,
mean,
it
I
was
remember the day we
fucking
actually
nuts.
poured the concrete in there, and you got struts and fucking everything in there holding it up, and we're pouring 60 ton of concrete. And I am scared at this point because I'm like, if this goes, imagine the mess.
Yeah.
You know, and everything, and it's creaking and it's squeaking, and then part of the shutter moved, so I had to get someone inside the basement. Brad,
Hang on. You sent your son. You sent your son.
Hey, actually,
I was just- all I
actually,
could
to be
visualise,
fair, I
right?
was in
Man,
there
all I could
before.
be-
Is that because? Is that
I was
because-
in there before he actually asked me to go in.
So you-
I was
so-
ready
so
to
and
he's
go.
it was
in there.
creaking
Yeah,
at this
yeah, it
point.
was
So
dodgy as
we're
fuck. I was
probably
literally
we're probably
shitting myself.
halfway through the pour, so we've probably got about 30 ton of concrete in the base, in the.
I had to go in to
shaft.
check it. So I said,
And it was creaking, and we could see it was just bubbling in an area. So we went in and striked it up, and I'm like, "Get in there, get it done, get the fuck out, get out." Because imagine going home and explaining to you, like Gail, that Brad's sort of like he's okay, but he's just better than 8 ton of concrete.
Yeah, 100.
Yeah.
We sort
So I
of
just
preserved him.
solidified in concrete.
Yeah, we sort of preserved him. It wouldn't have been an ideal situation. Funny enough, the day we actually poured the concrete,
on there.
Mr. Rideout decided, I'm not very well today, boys. I'm just saying that.
What happened, mate?
I wasn't very well.
He wasn't very well, genuinely. And if Mickey isn't at work, he's not very well because he doesn't miss work unless he's not very well. So, yeah, it was just good timing, really, because I tell you what, it was a horrible day. I eat it.
glad I
I eat it
wasn't
every
there.
minute. Right?
Hang on a second. Is that why you hit him with the digger bucket?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so-
did you hit him with the digger bucket?
Right, so we gotta explain this story.
Well, I
hang on.
think we've got to be a bit careful how we explain stories.
Yeah,
Health and
yeah.
safety, maybe.
Yeah, health and safety may actually shut me down for this one, but
Yeah, we don't want that.
He
I
was,
was
off
driving
site
a-
and he had a digger bucket in his hand, right? He was not actually attached to anything. Mick was over in the corner. I'll cover us all. He had it and he thought, do you know what? That Micky Rideout made me go in there with the concrete. And he picked up this digger bucket and threw it at him.
I still can't get over the fact you paid £20 for that Poundland jumper.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I thought the whole idea behind
Get a zoom in on Jay right now.
I thought the whole idea behind the Poundland jumper is just a pound. So it's like everything's a pound, isn't it?
I'll just give a little flex at boom.
Full-time bodybuilder.
Full-time
It is
bodybuilder.
£20 Poundland jumper.
That's what I like to say.
Don't turn too hard, you rip it.
Yeah. So
If it's that nice a jumper, would you wear it out tonight?
No.
No.
£20 is a bargain.
I thought it was supposed to. Well, it should be a pound.
Yeah, that's not bad.
It
kind of defeats the whole Poundland.
Hang on a
Yeah, it
second.
does.
Who's been to Poundland recently? Raise your hand.
I've never been.
No, I never
Okay.
go
there.
I can assure you. I can
Okay.
assure you. There's not a lot in there that's a pound at the moment. There is
It's
not
a
a lot
false
in
advertising,
there. Yeah,
isn't it? The
100%.
finest.
100%. Yeah, Poundland. There we
rip
go.
off.
Next sponsors.
Next sponsor for our video. Get more Vits. Time to get your vitamins in and get a bit of D in you.
There we go.
Yeah. When you're sort of referring to a bit of D, what do you want in the respects of a bit of D?
Just vitamin D, you know, that's good for you.
Oh, vitamin D.
Yeah,
Right.
not the
When
other
he
one.
said you wanted a bit of D in you, I'm just a bit
Yeah.
unsure what he meant by that. Being single
I'm
and
gonna
all
drop-
that.
I'm gonna
we
drop
might
a-
explain it.
I'm going to drop a bit of podcast knowledge.
Come on.
What do we know about gingers other than they're pretty smelly at times, shit hair colouring? They can absorb vitamin D better than any other race on this planet. Our pale pigment skin allows us to absorb that vitamin D from the sky above. So there we go. Vitamin D, you can stick that. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, our pale skin, all ginger people are pretty pale other than me. I am the leader of the gang.
absorb vitamin D, but I'm not.
No,
ginger.
you can't absorb it as good as us.
How do you know?
Because
That's
there's been
something
a,
the gingers
there's
are
been
better
a
at then.
study out there that the reason why ginger people are more freckly, more pale skinned is because they absorb vitamin D better.
Oh, there you go.
But do you get burnt?
Huh?
You get burnt.
100% I get burnt to shit. I get absolutely burnt. I literally.
That is on the ratings of podcast like intellectual conversation, minus 100.
It's knowledge. It's
I don't
knowledge.
even know what to say.
Sorry,
about
Jay,
it.
I was falling asleep over here whilst you were talking.
Yeah.
You're having to drink that. I can just sit here. Honestly, these lights are burning me. I'm sat here. Me and Mick.
Gonna get a suntan by the
Yeah,
time.
we're like, what? Mick ain't even taking his coat off. He's getting burnt that much. He's having to keep his
Scared of
coat
the
on.
skin on the
You
arms.
did say to him to wear some sunglasses as well, didn't you?
Yeah, you could have
I
had the
should've
sunnies
worn
on. You would have looked rock star then.
I'll wear them next time.
Yeah, you're
Get
saving
Liam
for next
Gallagher's
time.
on.
Yeah, Gallagher's on. Yeah.
No, to go back to the digger bucket story.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I feel like this is a good one actually. So I was driving a digger and I was changing the buckets, but it was like some Chinese digger. So you had to it had like a weird
it was
setting.
a weird one.
So
wasn't it? I
you don't
remember
just
that.
get a key and pull the bucket
It's all
down. It's
electric, right?
electronic. So I was trying to figure out the controls, and I was literally about 20 meters away from Mick, and I was trying basically offloaded the bucket, got it, flicked it off, sort of thing. And as I flicked it off, it did like 20 rolls. So like rolled down, and Mick was like to the right hand side, so it was nowhere near him either. And it rolled down and just hit you. It rolled onto your
Wow.
back, didn't
Yeah,
it? On
right
the
onto my
last roll as
Proper
well.
wind
So
at me, I did.
it was like-
Did you think at any
Sorry.
point, were you aiming for him? Was it like a bowling thing? You're like, I'll sort that right out.
strike?
Yeah.
No.
Strike.
It definitely wasn't. I was like, I saw it coming. I
Mate,
was
I
literally
think
out the digger
I
running.
think it's
it.
only
I was
because of
trying
the
to
fact
run
that
after it.
Micky's
Wow.
like so
Yeah.
strong, so like
I'm
strong
fucking
as a
scared.
person. That
That was literally
probably didn't
rolling. I saw it
fucking
rolling,
know
so I
him
jumped out the
properly.
digger.
I
was trying
felt
to
it
chase
felt like I'd been gouged, like like the teeth on it. In the front
Oh,
of it. It felt like one of them had gone to me. I was like, oh my god, is there a hole? Is there a hole?
So Mick's led down on his
Ventilating.
front, asking Brad, "Is there a hole there?" Your hands.
And there wasn't.
No, there
It
wasn't.
didn't look that bad.
There was
did
no
it?
hole.
No, it was all right actually. We were lucky.
Fantastic.
There.
Yeah,
It
it
was
was.
like- it was like-
It's all scary shit that happens in building, isn't it?
Well, all right. Can I
Accidents.
ask that question then?
Right, right.
What is the starting with Mickey? Because obviously you've been on more sites. What has been some of the most what accidents have you seen from other people, other mistakes? What have you seen on a building site that you go, "Cool, that was a bit."
I don't know about other people, but myself, I had a nail hit me straight in the eye.
Oh, yeah, that was bad.
Oh.
Scratched the eyeball and it's still blurry now. Like my vision on that eye is blurry.
Oh,
I knew that.
He weren't on site at the time.
No,
Yeah,
he wasn't
100%.
working. But no, yeah, no, he's
I was nailing a nail backhanded like that.
I remember
and
exactly.
it just pinged like a cut nail. Was it a cut nail?
No, it was a 2-inch lost head.
Lost head.
2.5-inch lost
Yeah,
head,
and it
wasn't
just pinged and it hit me straight in the eye of all the places. And I thought it was like sticking in there. But yeah, and I went to work the next day, didn't I? Remember?
Well, you laid in the van the next day.
I laid in the van.
Because what it was is like this was a Thursday where we were going out. we were going out on the Friday night at the group at the site, and there's a few people going out. And I said to Mick, like, I said, you can't have Friday off if you want to come out Friday night. So I didn't think it was as bad as it was because I didn't quite. And Mickey came in on the Friday, hanging horrible. In the end, because we was in Weymouth, we were too far to just kind of nip back. Yeah. So Mickey literally laid out in the van all day, just trying to.
I was on drugs as well.
Yeah, it took us a few hours that night driving around Weymouth trying to find an eye hospital. Before I can realise there isn't one. It's in Bournemouth, so we had to come back to Bournemouth, and it was all a bit of that. But I don't think probably either of us, to be honest with you, actually took it for quite as what it was.
Yeah. It's serious.
And because it was before the days where you go, oh, you wear right. You know, we're banging nails in, just normal skirting nails. We've been doing this fucking week in, week out.
Before, nail guns.
You know, it was just a weird one. So it wasn't like those days we had glasses and stuff out. And had you had glasses, obviously, it wouldn't have happened. But we just didn't have all that stuff. And it was just freak accident. But that's a freak accident. But like you said, you can... Okay. Forever,
so
that's how he met Gemma. He saw it in that eye.
Apparently Gemma likes. Apparently Gemma says she likes pirates.
Mickey has this like permanent beer goggle.
I got permanent beer goggle.
So there's a story I remember you telling me, Steve. Something about was it about the plumber? Was it a plumber on site that was like hooting and hollering about your van or something? There was.
Oh, I had a run.
So we'll try and go something a bit funny.
Yeah, this is like having trainees working for you is all right, but you're responsible for all of them. So I remember sending one of the guys, I think it was Mike, wasn't it?
Mike Ennis,
up to take some ply off of some joists, right? So we used to have to apply the joists out just so no one fell through. But before the plumbers started first fixing, putting all the pipe work in, we'd have to go and strip it all out. So I sent the Mike down there to go do it, strips it all out, guy stacking his stuff inside. Mike drops one of the sheets and mends about that much of a copper pipe, which is fuck all because this just comes in legs. You just cut it up. So the guy literally flipped at Mike. So Mike comes running out to me, like 16. Oh, plumbers never got me, blah, 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 blah. So I go down to the guy. I go, what's your fucking problem then? Because it's a building site. And he's like, oh, you get your ass in here and all this sort of stuff. Totally lost his shit. So I was
over
like,
this bent
bit of pipe and this Mike, and he totally lost his shit. And I just like, oh, dude, look, I'm not getting into this. So I just walked away, and as I walked away, he grabbed me from behind and grabbed my T-shirt and then grabbed my chain, and I had the necklace and I pulled the chain off and get in here and just like that. And I was like, dude, we're not doing this. I'm responsible for all these guys on site, you know, I've got 10, 12 blokes there. If I get into a tear up, I'll get lobbed off site. So I ain't
and then you lose all the guys on the site as well.
You know, I'm responsible because I'm a subby boss, so I've got guys on site. It's my business, so I'll just walk away from it. So I go upside and tell him all about it because I have to sort out him. So he goes, all right, let's just see what happens. So as I'm walking back down the site about half hour late, he stood in the road with a hammer in his hand, right? And I'm like, oh, this is now shit just got real. And he was like, holy shit, what the fuck? And he's going, where's your fucking man? He said, if you don't come in this house and have a conversation with me and my mate, he said, I'm going to put the fucking hammer through your windscreen.
Windscreen, yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, right. You know, like, cool it out.
Cool it out, yeah.
I called it out. He goes, oh, so this is my van over there. Brand new. I had a brand new van at the time. Yeah. And he goes, oh, fucking do it. I went there, go on in, whatever. And he went, posh, straight through the windscreen.
He did it.
I went, oh, my God. And a fucking hole like that in the hammer, right in the driver's mirror, right in your vision as well. Man. I was like, I can't believe you just done that. I was like, oh, what the fuck? So I was like, fucking hell. So that sergeant, he came down at this point and he went to him straight away, just get off site, get off site and everything. Yeah. And I remember, because I knew the boss, who they worked for, so I phoned him up and he went, you're joking? I went, no. He says, whatever you do, don't let parents know. I went, they already fucking know, sergeant's already thrown them off.
No.
And, oh my God, it just escalated from there. But I had to go get a windscreen fitted and I got a mate to do it for me, and he charged me out of hours rates and everything. So the windscreen, I think, cost about 800 quid.
So that teaches the plumber a lesson.
Yeah, so the plumbing boss, I'm on the phone, and he's paying for it with his card because he just paid for it.
Yeah, took out his
and he's going, oh yeah, he goes, I'll just have to sort it out with them, and you know, I ended up having them back on site. But they were like my bitches then, those plumbers.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't work on a barrack site unless they made up with me. And they wouldn't. And then they were had to come back to the site.
This is so embarrassing.
between
You
your
had to go back up and go, I'm sorry.
They hated it.
I'm really
Because they had
sorry.
about, I think they paid about £400-500 for my necklace. They had to pay for the van. They had a few days off while this was all sorted out. And they paid for something else as well. And it would have cost them a few quid. It was really fucking stupid, but that's what sites used to be like. But you just can't get in the fights.
Yeah.
You know, back in the day when I started on building sites, I mean, I remember fucking guys hitting each other with scaffold poles and knocking each other off fucking scaffolding. They was a hard bullies, they were. There was.
It's
I
definitely
remember
got a lot
one
more
incident.
PC now.
Yeah, I remember one incident when I was like 14. I was working on a building site. I was getting work experience. And there was a bricklayer there. He was an Xboxer. It wasn't the sharpest tool in the book, right? So they put him in this little hut cutting bricks. So you could imagine after that, he was cutting bricks all day long. But he was one scary fucker. He looked mean.
Right.
And the bricklayer's up on the scaffold one day. He's having a bit of a pop. Not at him, but about him. And he's not there at the time, but he's sort of, word gets around, so he fucking just walks up to this guy on the scaffold. I understand you got something to say about me and all this sort of stuff. And the brick, he was like, no, not like what you said. Just fucking whacked him with a scaffold pole, knocked him straight off the scaffold, straight down onto a pile of sand. Never did it again.
Oh,
Wow.
Just walked back into his hut, carried on cutting the bricks, and no one would, even side
would
agents,
shit
because the
yourself.
side agents going, I'm not going in there and fucking talking to him because he said, he just kind of got away with it, but you couldn't do that now.
Well, I actually have a building story of when I was 16 and I worked for a company called Gemini Rightway, a scaffold firm in Ringwood, and my governor at the time, Ken, he was like smaller than me. I'm 5'6", so Ken was smaller than me, but as wide as he was tall. And he had this like gravelly voice and this little moustache. And my nickname was the Yard Rat because I'd be down there and I used to have to service all the fittings. Yeah. One day, this van turned up, this little like combo-looking van. It's rocked up, and these two brothers got out. They were from Portsmouth. They were like just subby scaffolders, and I knew they were mental because they were talking. They both had these little tattoos on their legs. They were covered in tattoos, but they had these really little silly ones on their legs. I was like, what's that one? It's a giraffe. He goes, that's my brother. And his brother had one of a tiger. And he went, yeah, that's my brother. Right. So I was looking at the pair of them. They've got these stupid tattoos on their leg for each other. Yeah. And they're like, Yard Rat, what are you doing? I went, I'm working. And one of them headlocked me and threw me in the back of a van and then proceeded to throw a load of fittings all over me. So now I'm lobbed down with all these fittings. I can't move. They've shouted up to Ken, we've taken the gay ginger, and jumped in the van and gone off to Portsmouth. So off back to Portsmouth we go. We've arrived at this building site. I get pulled out. There's a guy called Brett who's on like the 6th floor up or 6th lift up. And he's like, oi, Yard Rat. I was like looking around like, here we go. And he had his top off and he goes, does your mum love it? And I'm like, oh, brilliant. I don't want to be here, right? And he's throwing fittings down at me. He's throwing them down. I've got to load the fittings down, like collect them up. I'm then getting them out the van to pass them back up. By this point, Brett has told me all the things he's going to do to my mum. Basically, he's going to make another sibling. And I just thought, you know what? I don't want to be in the building industry.
You
had a great experience then, first time.
Horrible.
You know, like when I look back, you know, I've been 40 years, and apprentices and trainees, and like Brad and bit of Mickey and all that. Like, they'd have come into the game when I started. I was lucky because my dad was the builder and he was sort of like the boss. So they kind
head
of
poncho.
like, kind of left me alone a little bit. Plus, I was decent sort of size for my age. But some people, honestly, terrorise them. Fucking terrorise them. I remember one guy, he was a gobby little fucker, labourer. And he was gobbing all the brickies off and everything. And I knew one day he was just going to come back to haunting. And I was in the house second fixing. Next thing, he's run into the house and hidden in the cupboard under the stairs, right? So the brickies come in and go, where is he? Where is he? And I'm like, he was going to get here somewhere. So I couldn't hide it because it was just, I wanted to see what they were going to do, but I didn't think they would do what they did. So I felt really bad afterwards because I wish I protected him.
Fully.
Yeah, because I wasn't really a grasp, I just thought it was funny. So it was like, hey, he's in there. So they got him out, they stripped him naked, and they covered him in glue.
Right.
But then they covered him in glue and then put all wood shavings, all the bits and pieces were laid around on the floor.
Wait, so it stick to him as
onto
well?
him,
Then?
yeah.
So they
And then
dried,
they pinned him up against the patio doors with a broom. So they pinned him up, wedged him in there. So he's like that against the patio, naked, covered in glue, and all this stuff. And he was like, as soon as they went, I sort of kind of let him go. But I never saw him again.
Oh, so
Yeah, but you must be so
Imagine going home
terrorised
to your
after
mum.
doing
You
that.
must
You
be
can never go on a
16,
building
17
site.
years old. And look, 40 years ago, it might have been different. But if you imagine Billy went home now to his mum and said, why the fuck are you naked and covered in glue?
Yeah.
Oh, it's just... And the mum goes, oh, it's just friendly banter.
Yeah.
It's like
She's
you'd be
already
had up
fuming
on
that
her.
he's left the family meal to come in. Imagine sending him
Shout out
home.
Bill for leaving your family meal to
Imagine
film and
sending him
do
home
the
like a
camera work.
chicken.
See, now, if I said to Bill, if he stripped you naked and covered you in baby oil, then he'd be up for it.
100%.
With his blow-up girlfriend.
Oh, I've heard about his blow-up girlfriend.
Yeah, shout out
Well,
Bill's
the only
bloke
reason we
girlfriend.
figure she's blown up because we've never seen her.
No.
No, she doesn't exist.
No.
Blown up
She's
as
out
in
of this
pregnant
world.
or blow up as
No,
in she's a
blow
doll?
up as in a doll.
She's a doll,
Yeah,
right,
she's a
okay.
doll.
I was
Yes.
wondering where this joke was going because
No, Billy has got. Well, basically, the thing is Billy's been going to tell us about this girlfriend he's got. He's been with her for 3 years and everything else like that, right? And we've probably got to know Billy over what, last 6 months, Bill?
Yeah.
How many times you met her?
Zero.
That's what I mean.
Well, and whenever we see Billy
She don't exist.
anywhere, he's on his own. So she doesn't exist. So it's a figment of his imagination. So that's why.
She doesn't exist.
He's imagining. He sees it.
So she must be blow up.
Right, so
All Bill's on acid either way.
But it did get like we started looking into it the other day, right? Because obviously he progressed from blow up dolls now to real things. He got seriously excited.
Yeah.
the synth.
He
He's
realised now that he
He's
can
all
get
about-
ones that talk to him at like 3-4 grand.
Yeah,
He's
AI,
now
Jay,
well
we were
up
talking
for
about that
investment.
last time.
So comment below, and we'll send a link to Billy's girlfriend's
You what?
Facebook page.
Billy's going. Billy's going on holiday with his girlfriend, right, to Thailand for 2 weeks in just the end of December, aren't you? So you can guarantee all the pictures are going to have him in it.
Just gonna be
It's,
him.
oh yeah, no, she wasn't in the picture, or she's holding the camera while I took a selfie.
Oh, poor Bill. Poor Bill.
Yeah, we're not sure she exists.
Or are you
but
going out there to buy yourself one? Is that what
I
it is?
think that's what it is.
Yeah, he's gonna
He's getting his tic tac.
He's nodding.
Yeah.
bless him.
Sight banter, eh?
Oh, so
That's a great topic. Site banter.
Sight banter.
So
Site
what?
banter.
So for like an average person, you two, I'll ask you two this question then. So what's some of the funniest stuff you've seen on building in terms of site
God.
banter? Just
It-
highlights of some clips or bits
I don't
you've
know.
actually
There
had,
is there?
because
I
there's
don't know if I can-
there's
I
so much
can't
happens on
remember
building
anything
sites.
about it.
That's general stuff. We did tape one of our apprentices to a lamppost, didn't we?
Oh yeah, that was quite funny.
Right outside David Lloyd Gym, and there's people looking through the
what
window.
you
We literally
Yeah,
taped
taped
him
it.
to a lamppost.
He was being so.
I was about to say, has he done anything wrong?
Look, he kind
He
of
didn't
set
mind.
himself up for it, and he knew it was coming, so he took it in very good.
Yeah.
Sort
Everyone
of
on
like
site
very good
grabbed him.
spirit, but
Right.
everybody grabbed him.
Everyone grabbed him.
So it was a whole effort. Everybody was involved, and blah blah blah. But there's so much. I mean, we hooked Luke up to the crane once with it by his pouch. Do you remember? I remember one. There you talk about it. There was this one time.
This one time at
This is a
Bandcamp?
one time at Bandcamp. No, but I remember this time when we were working on a roof in
Good story, Dad.
Southampton.
The old Southampton ground, wasn't it? The
Yeah,
Dell.
the old Southampton ground. So the Barretts had bought the old Southampton football ground at the Dell, and they were doing this. We were doing the roof on the whole building, going all the way around. And we've been sort of kind of messing around throughout the day a little bit because we've got the crane there, so the crane driver can see us up in the tower crane. So we're fucking around with like hitching people up and stuff out. And Luke's come up there. He's got just a pair of shorts on, right? So he's got no top on. It's hot, just boots. So somehow Mickey managed to rip his shorts off. Literally off him in like go bosh, and he just ripped them off. So Luke's bollock naked. I think mostly have no pants on, so he's bollock naked up on the roof, and he's like, "What the fuck?" And I was like, "I can't believe you managed to pull them off just like
It's literally
that."
where he's worn them shorts for so long, like in the summer.
Yeah.
I literally grabbed both pockets like that. He jumped backwards. I didn't even do nothing. He jumped backwards and they just come off in my hands.
And so
You got to walk down to your van, bollock
Yeah,
naked.
so,
Yeah, he did,
and
he did.
explain that on a building site. What the fuck is going on?
He went in the drying room, didn't he? And got a pair of the labourers,
God,
some
he
labourers'
got
trousers.
these skanky jogging bottom. They were horrible.
Yeah, they stunk.
I wouldn't even put them on there, but he literally had to wear them home.
Yeah.
And it was just one of those things that happen. When you look at it now, it's probably naughty, but at the time it's quite funny. It's like, we always used to do the thing is if we all used to wear jeans, right, when we were at work. But I would say jeans with a hole in is fucking dangerous. So jeans like that, they're not really that bad. But if you had a hole in them, they're dangerous because they can catch on something and everything else. So whoever had a hole in their jeans, there were 6 of us in the van, right? So it's me, Mickey, and there was always 4 trainees. We were all in the van. Whoever had a hole in their shorts had to sit in the middle, in the front. Or hole in their jeans, sorry. So it's Mickey's like passenger, I'm driver, the guy's in the middle. And guarantee by the time he got back to the Bournemouth, those jeans would be ripped off.
Oh, you put your finger
we just keep pulling on the
They
hole.
literally sit there and holding trying to over the holes.
So we're there gnawing away at these jeans the whole journey home, just till they so they can never wear them again because it's just dangerous. It's like I'm trying to explain to them is how dangerous it is. Don't get me wrong. If we ripped them off, I'd give them the money to go buy another pair.
Yeah, but
it was the principle of learning. Just if you damage like jeans are fuck, just throw them away or wear them other times, but you can't wear them for it's dangerous. No. So there's but there's loads of I can think of loads of things. I mean,
it was funny. It was funny though when we got he was wearing his pouch and where his hammer was. We got the big tower crane. We got the hook and put it over where his hammer goes. And the crane driver twigged what was going on and just lifted him up in the air.
No,
while he's got the belt.
Yeah,
he's got his belt on.
But then the belt started creeping up through his body, like he was going to slip out.
That's so fucking dangerous. I'm not associated.
And that was on a Barrett site.
Yeah, that was on a Barrett site. So let's drop Barrett's in the shit.
Yeah, fucking Barrett's health and safety policy.
It was. I mean, we've done some outrageous things. I mean, I've seen guys being thrown down rubbish chutes. Stuff like that. There's so many things. You can't. When banter, like the thing is with site banter, it's just what happens at the time, isn't it? And everybody, I think, on site has got to realise that when you take a piss or anything, it's not personal. It's banter.
Yeah.
But some people take it personally. Yeah.
Well, clearly they smashed your windscreen out. That was
yeah.
When you walk on a building, so you got to be quite open-minded. Like it's a whole different world of characters.
Yeah, you've got to be firm.
People who are
don't take no shit.
If
you take shit on a building site, you'll get shit. So you gotta be quite firm in the.
Guys, this sounds like prison. It literally. If I walked on a building site now.
Well, it is. I got raped on my second
you have to
day.
like assert.
I'd be holding people's pockets. Brad would be like, "Get your pocket out." It'd be like prison break.
He's mine.
Yeah.
You have to like assert your dominance in some ways, isn't
Yeah, you
there?
do. There's always. I mean, certainly when I was growing up, I found it was like I had a lot of run-ins with people because I was like doing martial arts and shit like that as I was growing up. And we would talk about stuff, and they go, "Oh yeah," and the guy go, "Oh, I'm into karate. Want to have a fight?" I'm going, "No, not particularly." But and then it would become a thing. Yeah. And I had this real thing with this painter, and he just constantly wanted to have a fight. He was like 30 years old. I was like 16, and he kept coming up to me, going, "Now, me and you can have a fight." And he literally went for me one day. And I was at that point when I was saying, "Oh, I've got no fucking choice. I'm going to have to stand up for myself," innit? And I was just literally about to launch him one. And it just fucking thankfully it diffused, but I got a lot of bullying when I was younger.
So would you say that there's
Even
a big
for a
difference?
big guy, I got a massive
compared
difference.
to how sites were
then
to now.
to what you did, but the way they looked,
I think the way of life was different back.
Yeah, but the way
era.
I think you looked at it then is men were men. You know, you're men, boys. You don't fuck around. You don't whimper to your teacher, go home to your mum, go, "Oh, mum, the guys at work have been nasty to me." You just kind of grow up and learn to deal with it.
Yeah.
And it probably makes you a bit more solid, but probably half of the reason I'm kind of a little bit like I am now, because I don't tolerate stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've got a fucking low tolerance level. And I think that's because of growing up with such determined blokes were fucking big guys. I mean, and the ground workers were huge, burly guys that fucking know how to work. You know, and it was a lot scarier, I think, growing up then.
More Neanderthal. More
like testosterone.
Yeah.
I knew
testosterone.
some
Natural test.
big guys that used to be carpenters, and they were like Neanderthals, like 6.5 feet high, you know, and all this, and they were like
Brad's
big
height.
arms. And,
I'm only 6'2".
They were huge guys.
What, hands like Brad's?
Yeah, I've got some
Brad's
big
only
ass
13.
hands.
He's
You
got
can have a look
hands
at
like
these.
dustbin lids.
Yeah, compare hand sizes.
Fucking hell. Jay's hands are like
Jay's got baby hands.
Yeah.
Pathetic.
Yeah.
Female
I
hands.
gave you
Brad, in that era as well, a lot of blokes would have gone for they go for pints, drink at 1 o'clock. going for beer.
Actually, yeah.
Didn't they? They used to go for a pint and all that.
I couldn't do
and then
that.
go back to work.
I don't get how you could
my
do
dad
that.
had
Couldn't
two
do that.
brickies.
You feel like shit after like half an hour of work.
My dad had. I remember
I'd
when
feel
we were
like
working
shit.
on a site over in Asher Heath building some bungalows, right? And it was like a self-built site. There was loads of people there. But the brickies were fucking brilliant. This guy, I remember his name is Verdon. And amazing bricklayer, really nice bloke in the morning, steaming in the afternoon, but can fucking lay bricks.
Was he better laying them drunk or better
It didn't
laying?
make any difference.
Make a difference.
It didn't make a difference. And that boy could earn £200 a day then. And, I mean, he was rapid, but he'd go to the pub at lunchtime and have 5 pints. Then go back to work, do the day's work, drive his Mercedes home. How we even got the fucking car home, I don't know. Park up on, because he used to live in our flats. We had flats at the time, so he used to live with us. And then he used to just go to the Palmerston and Boston and just drink all night. And we'd find him sometimes out in the fucking driveway, sleep in his car. And then, and then he would get up and go to work and do it all over again. The geezer was unbelievably a brilliant bricklayer.
Yeah, but I think some of the
But a proper
best
wrecker.
craftsmen are a bit strange, though, isn't it? When you think about it,
Van
we
Gogh.
are a bit strange.
Van Gogh cut his ear off.
Yeah.
You know, amazing craft, amazing artman. Cut his ear off. Sent it
It's
off.
true, though. It's true.
Yeah.
Like you say, I think exceptionally good people. We all have a habit of something, don't we? It's like you enjoy a beer, don't
Like
you?
a beer,
And it's
yeah.
like,
How many beers do you drink, Mick, an evening?
I don't drink in the evenings, mate.
That sounds like a ride out lie. That does.
it takes it intravenously at that point.
I don't drink anything
It's
strong
on
though.
tap now.
Tell the camera, Mick.
I don't drink anything strong though. I just drink Fosters.
And how many Fosters?
Shout out
I
Foster's.
can drink 10 cans of Fosters a night.
10 cans, ladies.
Easy.
10 cans.
Foster's.
drama.
Give them a
You
sponsorship,
wouldn't
mate.
know looking at you, though, would you?
No, you
It's
wouldn't.
Not like you
No.
never come in and smell a beer or anything like that. I mean, they used to come in. They used to 24/7 beer. You know, like you said, I used to know
Live and
all
die
the
by
blokes.
it.
We used to work on one job, and everybody went to the pub at lunchtime.
Yeah.
And
They probably get most of their jobs from the pubs, wouldn't they? You go to the pub.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I need a build. I need something. And that's how they got their work.
I think a
I
lot
think
of
word
work
of
is
mouth.
generated.
It
in
was
the
word of mouth
Yeah,
back
because
then.
you're
Yeah.
No,
need a
advertising,
hand
really.
on
Yeah,
the
definitely,
job,
yeah.
don't
You
you?
can't have
And
social
it's-
media
It's
or
all like
anything.
that, but
I don't know if anyone else remembers pubs, right? But my dad was a film lighting sparks, so the drinking culture was heavily in that as well.
Yeah.
And I used to get dragged up the pub, right? And I can remember going in these dingy pubs in London. You'd open up the door and you couldn't
Smoke.
see anybody, right? It was just all smoke. And you'd have to swim. And my dad was like, he's like, right, just go and sit in the corner, yeah, because I've got to go and see the landlord. And I'd like creep off into the corner and he'd have to go and have a chat with the landlord because you're not allowed kids in the pubs and all sorts. And I'd be sat in the corner,
here, Chris.
stinking, yeah,
Candy.
absolutely stinking pubs. And now there's no smoking in them.
No.
It's pretty fantastic, to be fair, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a lot
it's
better.
Yeah.
I mean, I was a smoker.
The fact you guys could smoke on planes, I never
actually-
understood that.
I was a
That's
smoker,
fucking
right?
so dumb,
And
wasn't
you
it?
think I used to sit in bed and smoke?
You'd have a fag in bed.
Don't even go there.
That's disgusting.
Even
In the
now,
bed
that-
sheets,
yeah,
dropping
even,
ash.
don't even go there.
Oh,
Even
that's
now,
dirty,
that
man.
sounds disgusting. And it's even like I used to love. Like, I loved going outside when I smoked. I loved going outside and having a fag.
Yeah.
Because it was just kind of get out in the air. It all does. It's always bad. But I used to smoke in bed, man, and that is just disgusting.
Looking back at it now as well, builders used to go to a cafe and we were smoking in there. So you'd be having a breakfast. And so you could see them. Before they even finished like swallowing their food, they'd be lighting a fag. And
That's why every builder had a heart attack at the age of 15.
Yeah, that's what I say.
Yeah, that's
They
a
were
real
fucking
thing.
hell. Cholesterol levels through the roof because of all the fry.
Alcoholics,
Drinking loads of beer and
smokers,
smoking.
eat brekkies all the time.
But
That's
yeah,
like
it used to be like I remember going to the pub one lunchtime, and we had a guy called Sumo working with us, right? Now the reason he was called Sumo is you can imagine. He was a big
thin.
guy.
He was a thin
but
guy.
this guy used to wear swimming costume to work, not shorts. He'd wear briefs, but you couldn't. So he. You imagine this guy, right? So you got a guy who's probably, I don't know, 20 stone plus, right? So it's hot, it's summertime. He'd come in
the
a vest,
sweat coming off
vest
that bloke.
in the morning with a pair of Speedos on. And a pair of fucking flip-flops, right? But he was such a hard worker. He was just unreal. But he was covered in cuts and shit where he's lifting stuff around. But just a fucking hard bastard, really. And I remember going to the pub one lunchtime. He's going, boy, I don't feel great this afternoon at all or anything else. Well, we used to have sometimes a cup of tea at 3 o'clock. So we're all sat there, as, like me, my boss, Bricky, couple of Brickies, electricians, and everything, plasterer, and everything else. And he'd been going on about he doesn't feel great. So we sat there drinking a cup of tea. and I think having a biscuit or cake or something like that. He walks up onto the skip in front of us, right? Bear in mind this time he's taking his vest off. He drops his Speedos and diarrhea shit all over the skip in front of us. Right? So we're sitting there going, what? It's not something you ever want to say. But he did it because he wanted to know. He wanted us to know how fucking disgusting that guy can be. And it was just sitting there and they go, what the fuck? And that was, to this day, it burnt a hole in my head.
I think you've burnt a hole in every viewer's.
Wanted to see ever in
all
my
the viewers have had their heads burned.
That's disgusting. That's horrible.
If you have been scarred mentally, please call 0800.
Yeah. He's just this one particular guy. He was just an absolute animal. I could tell you another story. I'll tell it to you, but I don't really want it. But
do it.
We went to work for these people. They're like where this area was. I won't say where it was, but where this area was it was all very nice country homes and everything else. Well, they had tradesman's entrance. So he goes up to the front door. Right, darling, come round. Would you mind using the tradesman's entrance around the side? Right, don't go through the front door. So he's like, fucking stuck up bitch, like this. So go through the day. We're doing all the work, and he comes downstairs laughing his head off. And I'm like, what's the matter with you? He goes, she's a real stuck-up cow, isn't she? And I was like, she seems all right, it's harmless enough, but she's quite posh. And then he goes, I taught her. He gets up in a wank in a knicker drawer. And I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you? He goes, now she can have fucking something to fucking come home to tonight. And I'm like, what is even going through your head to think that I'll do that and actually get turned on by it? And it's just that is the epitome of what sumo was. So that's why
Sumo.
Yeah,
Sumo, if you're listening, if you're still alive.
I would imagine he's dead by now because he was 50 then. But he was like, that is just.
So interesting question, right?
Well, it's a bit like Matey. Do you remember Matey with the foot-long cock? The plasterer that worked with my dad.
Oh God, yeah.
And he fucking, the old guy.
Yeah.
He was like,
Hang on. If people can't see Micky's face, his face lit up like a Cheshire cat. Is there anything you want to tell us, Mickey boy?
No, he just
it's just, I remember sitting there, right? We were having a conversation at lunchtime or something like that. Mickey's there, I'm there, my dad's there. Yeah. I think there's a couple of plasterers, somebody else was there, right? So it comes around the conversation. Bear in mind, me and Mickey are quite, sort of out of this sort of little bit. Mickey's quite young still. And everything. So he's going on about the size of his cock. Or my dad's going on about the size of his cock, which is a bit weird. And he's like, so we're sitting there, he goes, and starts measuring this thing. It was a foot long.
Yeah.
Foot long.
What, soft or hard?
It was like a baby's arm.
Yeah, it was sort of like,
It's a foot long untouched.
He goes, and he was literally fucking hell. And it was just like, what the fuck?
It was wasting on that
only
bloke
on the
as well.
building site would this happen. Only on the building site. There's nowhere else.
you went
I've worked in a lot of offices, and I assure you, right, we're going to do the fit outs, and none of the bankers that we've dealt with have gone, bit of banter.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean. He goes, I can't wear tight jeans or anything else. I've got to wear jogging bottoms because he said otherwise it was
bulges.
Fucking huge. I mean, huge. But the point is why the fuck did you want to show it to us? We didn't need to see that.
If I had a 12-inch one,
Yeah, I think that's
out of
like
time,
common,
isn't
isn't it?
Well, thank you for clearing
now on the podcast. If I did,
can I say thank you for clearing that up? Because if anyone else out there didn't know how long a foot was, I'm sat here thinking, how many inches is that?
It's a foot, Jay.
That's
Yeah, but whose foot? My foot or your foot?
My foot's a foot.
Oh, your foot is literally a foot.
Yeah, it's a foot. So that's a foot.
God.
Yeah,
It's a big cock.
Scary as fuck.
That's
I mean,
a
he's going to hit you around the head with it.
You could pull it out and use it as a baton, couldn't you?
Yeah, he's like
Right
he
control.
said. He said as much as it's been a blessing as it has been a burden.
Yeah.
He said because there's so many people have turned around and go, you ain't fucking putting that anywhere near me.
Can we all take the time then to
I've never experienced
to bless
that
to
myself.
bless to send blessings to the man with the 12-foot cock and 12 inches.
Yeah, but my
carried
point
away.
is, we talk about side banter and stuff like that. These are the sort of things that kind of used to happen. It wouldn't happen anymore. I mean, probably a guy gets a dick out because he's got a big dick or whatever. That's still going to happen because guys are guys, isn't they? But the sort of things that used to go on a building site, then you just can't get away with it now.
Yeah, how would you say it's changed then? Like throughout your time, because I know I've only experienced it. Yeah, I've only experienced it how I've experienced it. But when I hear your stories, it's like a completely different industry.
Sounds
now.
mental, doesn't it?
Yeah, it sounds chaos. Like
most-
mine was a lot easier.
health
Professional.
really.
Like you just get on with your job and you're just doing your job and that's it.
I'd be terrified of going to work each day.
I think the
Yeah, I
guys
would as
walking
well.
around
You'd
with the
be
clipboards and the
terrorised.
pens now will fuck that job up, haven't they?
Yeah.
So, people go around, oh, no, we can't do that anymore. Oh, no, we can't do that anymore. And what they've done is, in some spaces, everything we're doing was harmless fun. Yeah. And it was harmless fun. And it was done between, it's like a bit like rugby boys. When the rugby boys get together, they're carnage, aren't they? Yeah. They just, and what goes on in a rugby club and stuff like that, in any other walk of life, they'd all be up on sexual harassment charges and fuck God knows what. But they get away with it. That's the same on a building site. And that's what it used to be like. And it used to be fucking good fun because it's a little bit unpredictable. But now it's all work.
Do you think they're trying to make it more like a conveyor belt of like a building?
It's trying
they're
to
trying
make
to
it
just
more
go,
like a
you come to
manufacturing
work,
system.
yeah,
I think
you come to
you're
work,
right.
build,
I think the
go
way
home.
the attitude to building now is, and I think we'd all agree with that, and probably the worst for it as well in some respects, is that you're there for 8 hours, work for 8 hours. See, whereas we used to go to building sites back in the day and you were there to get the job done, but it wasn't like you were racing against Clark and it wasn't like you finished at 4 o'clock. It was just like you did what you did that day to get the job done.
Yeah.
So if it meant you was there till 5:30, you were there till 5:30. Some days you were there till 2 o'clock, you were there till 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
Didn't really matter. It kind of always planned itself out.
Yeah.
So, but you would never, now it's more like we get to work up at 7, we start at 8 o'clock, we stop at 10, we carry on through till lunchtime, we stop at 1,
So it's regimental.
Yeah, it's very.
There's a whole structure to it. So you
I
get used to it
have
after a
rights
while.
now as an employee to have this time and breaks and all this sort of stuff. And you go, what? This is where the rules are fucking the industry up. It's like health and safety, all this shit. We spoke about this last week. Gets into a point where it's just taking away the fun. Not so much fun, but it's like that. I think for people in this industry to express themselves in the way that they want to have a laugh. If you've got people happy and they're smiling, laughing and joking, they're getting on with the job, they're having a bit of banter between themselves. You tend to find that's probably the most productive day you have on the site. If you're all fucking miserable, everybody's having like a little bit aggy, I'm walking around going, for fuck's sake, boys, get the job done, fucking, and it's all like that. I don't think the job plays as well.
There's been a study, I think it was an American company, and where I'm going with this is if you treat people like adults, they will act like adults. And if you allow people freedom and time to express themselves, they'll all be fine. There was a company in America that gave staff unlimited holidays. Literally unlimited holidays. So you could literally go to work and then not go to work for another 6 months. Yeah. Unlimited holidays. And what they found was productivity went through the roof and people actually took less time off than allocated time because they didn't feel under so much pressure. So do you think that there's probably more pressure now on building sites and therefore people don't want to stay and do the extras because they feel like they're not getting anything back for it? They just work all the time.
Yeah.
Do you think that's...
I think it is, because I think if you're doing the job, look at it now for us. The clients like push. If you're there at 3:30 on a Friday and you're standing around, you're sort of looking at it as if to go, what the fuck are you standing around at 3:30? It's not 4 o'clock yet, and that type of thing. So I think there's pressure from your client and there's pressure then from the builder. Then there's pressure. Everybody it all boils down to one thing, don't it? Greed, money. We all want fucking dollars, so we all want cash. We're trying to get our money's worth out of everything. And I said, I think this job that we did, I think, changed that attitude for me. Whereas it's like, work. And I was like, do you know what? I really want to get away from this. I really want to get away from this demand to keep going all the time and everything else. So I think the situation like we sit in now, like Mick has said, it's been very relaxed over the last few weeks because we have fucking nothing to do.
Yeah.
So as a building company, it's the weirdest experience of my life. So we spent the last 3 years, me, Mickey, Brad, you've experienced it, but he didn't ever have any experience of it. But we spent 3 years working for the 1% Club.
Yeah.
And because we've been working for the 1% Club, it's sort of taken us out of the market of everything else. So we've then come out of working for the 1% Club. Now we've got no work. We've gone and built one of the biggest refurbishments in Sandbanks over the last 10 years, I would have said, probably, if not more. One of the biggest houses in Sandbanks. to a very, very high level and done what I don't believe anybody else could have done with what we had. They'd have wanted more. We had no information, did we?
No.
I mean,
No drawings, nothing.
Without Mickey, I couldn't have built it because he could just work it all out. Whatever it was steel work. Oh, Mick, just knock the stairs up in concrete. Yeah, no problem.
Timber
It's
shuttering.
sort of like
Them staircases were amazing. Can I just say, them staircases?
if Mickey
even I
wasn't
saw them
there,
were
it would
amazing.
never.
It was a
ever have
customly
worked.
hand-built house.
Yeah, and
Like,
I
that's
think
how
it's
much
because we've been
as best as
doing
you
that.
can
We've
explain it.
walked away from that, and now we sit here now, and we've been other than obviously building what we've been doing here, we've literally had 6 months no work. Which is fucking bizarre because we're good at what we do. We are good at what we do. Proof is in the pudding. You can all stand and go, "Oh, I'm a fucking brilliant builder," but show me. We got this whole showroom here, this house, and the way this is all set up. We did it as a bit of a market piece for the business and stuff like that. And then, you know, Mickey showing off really Mickey's talents, Brad's talents, you know, what we're good at and stuff like that. But no one's really interested. It's really
I think
weird.
people have lost interest in building, lost faith in it's probably a better word to describe it. And it's
Maybe.
kind of goes down
What
to
about
that.
financing it? See, the problem here is
So expensive
how
now, isn't it?
how like with interest rates going to the highest they've been, how are people now gonna fund these builds? Because obviously an
You're not going to
extension-
remortgage, are you?
Right, exactly. Because this and this
Where's the
could
money
be a
come from,
reason.
won't it?
Yeah, where is the money going to come from
Yeah.
for these builds? Like,
It is scary. I think there's a big change coming in this industry. You can feel
I
it.
think there needs to be a big change. Being
Yeah.
honest, like I feel like it goes down to the
I
fact.
think the
of, like,
problem comes is you're trying to change a whole industry and an instrument that's just been like this for years and years and years. But I think that it's just there's just this weird pattern that we seem to be in. I mean, Mickey sitting here is like a caged animal. I've had him sitting in the bar, and you can feel he's like a caged animal. He
Pricing
just-
jobs like it's not.
I
For me.
want to fucking make something.
Yeah.
I need to make something. I can't handle it. So it's like Mickey customised Brad's shed last week and turned it into a bar. Fucking wicked. I mean, wicked.
out
It's
of a
like,
load of scrap timber
what
as
you
well.
can do with a piece of a shitty old shed, which is probably what 6 foot by 4 foot or whatever it is, or it's probably
6 by 8, wasn't it?
is it 6 by 8?
6x8, yeah.
Yeah.
Six
can
by
I
eight.
say
Is
it
it
looks?
6 by
It
8?
is.
Yeah.
It is almost like
That looks sick.
It's like
I mean,
a-
it's
it's-
absolutely
if
fucking.
you
I'll
were-
have to chuck some photos in. Just
if you
to show
were
the
a
people.
drunk-
it's
So I'll
wicked.
take some when I go back.
if you were a drunk Father Christmas doing a grotto for kids, that's where you would
Perfect.
want to be.
Yeah, that is,
A drunk Father
Maybe
Christmas.
we could rent it out.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
If there's a
I'm very
Santa Claus
impressed.
out there that needs a
Yeah, we'll
place
do a little
to bring
grotto.
his children in for presents,
Maybe that's
I'll
what we
make a
should
little
have done.
grotto.
Maybe
Naughty
that's what we
grotto.
should have done. We should have just set
You could
up
be
a
Santa.
Santa's grotto, and then we can send all the kids
What's in
round
my
for
sack?
Muskif and Epiphany.
Come and sit to my
Yeah, you'd be worrying.
Do you know what? I have to say, Mickey, your gift is second to none. We had Mickey come to have a little look at a project that we had done. We had built this garden room, and subsequently had it delivered and stuff, and it started leaking. And I hate how much of a dick he is, right? I literally hate how much of a dick Mickey is. He literally rocks up and he's like, he takes one look at the thing, right? And I've been puzzled, perplexed. The clients, like, there's water coming in. It didn't leak before. We're all racking our heads. Mick's like that. Doors have sagged. I'm like, what? He said, look at the little, on the top of the door, there's like a little black line where it should have been in with the rubber. And he's like, yeah, if we should get a crowbar and jack it up. And then puts it in, jacks it up. Yeah, it's fixed it. Dick.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I've still got to put the bill in for that. haven't I?
Yeah.
I was just going to say, we haven't actually talked about the cost of that. So.
Moving on swiftly.
Yeah. We
So
need,
how's your day, Jay?
yeah, we need to have a financial meeting, Jay.
Yeah. Mickey,
Certainly not for
Mickey touched me on that job. Who do I put a complaint? I want to
There's
put
no
a full
HR iconic. Don't worry.
Billy.
Yeah.
Billy.
Billy's our
He's
HR
into all that
manager.
touching stuff and stuff. He loves all that, don't you, Bill?
Oh, Bill.
Oh dear. Well, I can definitely say that this has been very entertaining. Like just
Bit
hearing.
of a more relaxed
Yeah.
podcast.
I think we
Like,
need to do
you
a bit
need
more of a relaxed podcast.
We've had a busy
Mickey's
week
first
as well.
podcast as
We've
well,
had a busy
isn't it?
week, so it's important to know that as well.
Mickey's
So.
brought like a level of ambiance to the proceedings, isn't he, for Friday
Yeah.
Night Club? And
Yeah, I feel like
Chill
it's,
environment.
I feel like it's helped out the gingers in this, So, Mickey, to the camera, if there was any gingers wanting to get into the building industry, what one piece of advice would you give them other than sun cream?
work inside.
Bucket hat.
Work inside.
Yeah.
Bucket hat.
Bucket hat. You need one of those big, like, sombrero bucket hats that you can
So
cover
we
so you
need.
don't get
Hold
your
on,
head
mate.
burned.
So, right, let's
And
just
long
get this
sleeve
right. So
t-shirts.
how can you get a sombrero bucket hat? Because it's either a sombrero or a bucket hat. You can't have a sombrero bucket hat.
Yeah,
That's a bit like having a fucking hard hat, baseball hat.
Can I say, Hugh did say to me today, can I say, talking of
Shout
saying,
out Hugh,
shout
External
out Hugh.
Cleaning, Southern Pride.
So I had Hugh with me today. He said, all right, Jay. He said, do you reckon you could sell sand to the Eskimos? I said, what? Don't you mean?
So when did Hugh come from Cornwall?
I don't know. I'm just doing.
Hugh,
Bristol.
Hugh sort of sounds like Jeffro.
I just thought I would give
Hello,
him
mate.
a voice. All right.
Just give him a little bit of an accent.
Yeah, I
shall we?
thought we could spice it
Sorry,
up for
Hugh.
Hugh.
I'll
Yeah.
defend you, Hugh. I made sure he didn't do it.
Yeah, no. Well, Hugh thought that I could sell sand to the Eskimos when it's obviously selling snow to the Eskimos. So, we all make mistakes. Hugh made one today.
They're in the Sahara Desert now, the Eskimos. They've moved. The ice cap's melted, so they moved to the deserts now.
Yeah, like the environment better. Oh, I'd like to see them dig the fish out of the fucking ice like they normally do, then, wouldn't it?
God,
That'd be difficult, wouldn't it? You'd be dead.
Oh, well. That was definitely a different...
Yeah, I think we're end it there, can't we?
Yeah.
Just
What we
chilled.
done, about an hour?
What time are we at? An hour? That's a
Yeah.
fucking
cheers.
hour.
That went quick.
Jesus
It
Christ.
does go quick,
Yeah, it does
doesn't
go quick, doesn't it?
Yeah,
When you look
thank
at it,
you.
when you
Now,
look
for a
at the
second
podcast, how the
podcast,
fuck have you
none of
talked
us
about
have ever done
amount of time?
podcasts as well, so
And,
we need to
it's surprising, isn't
just
it?
to state that.
Pablo's been scratching it.
I can hear him, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Pablo's been wanting to
Hold
come
on,
in.
hold on,
Are
hold on.
Pablo.
you gonna let him in?
Let's get him in.
Pablo.
Here he comes.
Look
Hey,
at it.
monkey.
We've got our main mascot, Iconics mascot here.
He's actually got his own
Here we go.
profile, hasn't he?
There is now
Yeah.
three
Yeah, to be fair.
gingers.
Yeah,
There is
he
now
could. I bet
three
he would've,
gingers on the
wouldn't he? Hi, look, he's
podcast.
like,
He wants to join the next one.
Yeah.
You can see it.
Hi.
He's probably a bit confused what the fuck's going on.
Three gingers. So we are now
Oh, we've got three
dominating.
gingers. Now
Yeah,
we're
we are now
dominating
dominating this podcast.
Say hi.
Well, you're not really, because Billy's on our side.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
whose side
full.
are you on? Right.
And I've got my own club.
Yeah, you've
Lego
got
Egg
one.
Club.
Brad's on one club. Billy's on one club. The
Where have you been,
gingers.
Pablo?
We are
Where
we
have
are
you been?
rocking it.
Wait, hold on. Give him a little shout out. Come on.
Hello.
You need to wait till he starts snoring. That's about the only thing you'll get out of Pablo.
Right, should we end it there?
Yeah.
Yeah, cheers, guys.
No worries.
Thank you very
everyone.
much. Thank you very much. I
Episode
enjoyed that.
2, bit different.
Oh, nice to have you here, Mick. Start.
No worries. Good.
Hugh's gonna love it. He's made the podcast.
Yeah.
Hugh